What is up, YouTube? Chase Oliver 68 here. I got a special guest with you. Name you, special guest.
So guys, I'm Saito here, back again for another TNA review with Chase.
Yeah, TNA reviews. This is how I'm gonna plan it out. If you guys don't mind, mainly because sometimes it gets boring just hearing me talk. So sometimes I'll have Brandon do reviews with me. But if you want to ever do a TNA Impact review with me, say like for next week's show or future shows, pay-per-view events, just message me on Skype and I'll do a TNA Impact review with you, and hopefully it turns out well. So we're going to start off by reviewing the show. The show kicked off with the new World Heavyweight Champion Steen coming out. Steen basically was saying how he won the championship, how he's great, and he beat Mr. Anderson, and it should be good guy, bad guy, but there's no problem here because Steen's a world champion. All of a sudden, Kurt Angle comes out. Kurt Angle basically is saying that if it wasn't for him, he would have not became world champion, which is true. And I like what they did there, putting Steen and Kurt Angle together in that same environment to hype up the Hardcore Justice main event. But that segment didn't end there, as Bully Ray and Mr. Anderson, two members of Immortal, came out and basically challenged Steen and Angle to a tag match later tonight. Like I said, good opening segment, way to get the main event stars in there. And not only that, have Mr. Anderson, the former world champion, and Bully Ray, probably one of the top guys in the Immortal faction, sad enough, but he is probably one of the top guys there, come out and basically make their claim at the two top guys right now in TNA. So I really liked that opening segment. Brandon, what was your thoughts on the opening segment?
I liked it. It was pretty good. I like how they had, like you said, Kurt Angle and Sting in the ring at the beginning, and talking about how Kurt Angle was talking about how he wouldn't have won if it wasn't for him, and so I liked it. You basically covered it. So yeah.
Yeah, and then we get on to the first match, Bound for Glory Series match, RVD versus Scott Steiner. This match wasn't too bad. It wasn't terrible. The ending was kind of lackluster. It came after a roll-up by RVD, so RVD gets more points on the board. Obviously, they can see that RVD is a clear-cut favorite, maybe to making it in the Final Four. I believe he has 21 points, maybe more. I'm pretty sure he has 21 points. Like, he just got his 21st points. And Scott Steiner, I believe, only has his 14 points, 7 points. But, RVD is the right guy to go over here. I don't really see Scott Steiner doing much in the Bound for Glory series anyways. I see RVD doing a lot more because he's a more credible face for the company. So, yeah, I guess RVD was a good choice to win this match. What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I think RVD, he won, but I think that it was the right choice for him to win. I could see him as a potential contender to win Bound for Glory series, but one thing I don't really like what TNA's been doing recently, like a lot of their matches have been ending in roll-ups.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I don't care for that. It's just like, it's cool when it's every once in a while, but after it's like repetitive, it's just kind of boring.
And then later on, we were getting a backstage segment with the TNA Knockouts and Tara and Miss Tessmacher, and they were going to walk out to the ring. Then all of a sudden, they got jumped by Sarita and Rosita, the current Knockout Tag Team Champions at the time. And then Madison Rain came in. It was like a cluster. We didn't know what was going on. Then we finally get to the match. The match was halfway decent. It wasn't like good or anything. Miss Tessmacher, I don't know what the fuck she was doing. Tara basically had the match won. She pinned, I believe that was Sarita with the messed up face for the 1, 2, 3. And then Tara rolls up Rosita for some fucking reason. It's like, Miss Tessmacher. It's like, Miss Tessmacher, what are you doing? But Tara, Miss Tessmacher, your new Knockouts Tag Team Champion. I didn't really agree with this call due to the fact that Mexican America has been doing so well as of late. Why would you take away the Knockouts Tag Team titles? But I guess with Sarita's face injury, maybe they want to keep her away from a lot of action so that way she doesn't get even more injured. Who knows? She looked fine to me in the ring, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. They played it off very good in the later part of the show. What about you, Homicide? What did you think about this match?
It was okay. I don't really care for the tag team of Tara and Miss Tessmacher. I don't think they really look like they don't look like a tag team in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like they could be a tag team. And I think it wasn't really smart to to take the belts off of Rosita and is that her name, Sarita?
Yeah, Sarita.
I don't think that was smart. Because they have Mexican America, and then Mexican America beats Beer Money at Hardcore Justice, and they could have both tag titles, Knockout and wrestler, just regular wrestler,
Exactly.
like guys. So
and also when you look at Miss Tessmacher, she really hasn't been doing much with Terra at all. She has been mostly teaming up with Velvet Sky. It was just odd. They just decided, let's put these two divas together, or I mean knockouts together, and then have a match with them. Speaking of knockouts, we get Mickie James before her knockout title match with Velvet Sky later tonight. She comes out. She basically does this, welcomes Velvet Sky, do the whole face versus face respecting, and then Angelina Love and Winter come out, cut a promo saying, you guys, it doesn't matter who wins, we'll win the title. Basically, that's about it for that segment. It leads on more to later tonight what will happen. Then we get to a match that should be on pay-per-view, a match that was promoted like it was a pay-per-view match, the Fatal 4 ladder match. All I can say is this ladder match was disappointing. It wasn't long at all. It had some moments, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is the best ladder match. I mean, pretty sure if you're alive, you would think that was sick, but watching at home, it was just like, really? This ladder match only lasted 5 minutes. And the winner was Matt Morgan. I'm fine with Matt Morgan winning. You know, it keeps up that whole Samoa Joe losing thing where Samoa Joe's getting pissed off. I really don't want to see Gunner in the Final Four. AJ Styles is the guy who I'd like to see in the Final Four. But Matt Morgan is a guy that I always believe should have been TNA World Champion last year around that time. I think Matt Morgan has all the talents and skills to be a world champion for TNA, and he carries himself well. I mean, he's a 7-foot natural freak. I think that's and he's also weirdly built. Most 7-foot guys that you see in the business are either really fat or not really that build like Matt Morgan, but Matt Morgan's built like a monster. So I was fine with Matt Morgan winning. Brandon, what were your thoughts on this match?
Just my opinion, like, for the type of match it was, I didn't like that he won because it's a ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like it was even like, you know, like when you see a ladder match, you don't really think of a 7-foot guy winning. And I didn't really like the fact that they had him win the ladder match. Maybe it was like a different, like maybe it was just like a fatal 4-way or something like that. I wouldn't, or maybe like a 4 corners match or whatever. I wouldn't really care, but I would have rather seen Samoa Joe or AJ pick up. But yeah, when you said he wins, Samoa Joe, you know, he gets even like more pissed, so he could maybe have like a little heel turn with Samoa Joe. And I like the match whenever we had. I think AJ Styles only made the match though, because like all the like the sick counters he was doing, or whether it was jumping on the ladder and then trying to do a crossbody on Matt Morgan. You know, there's all this stuff AJ Styles was doing. That was really what made me interested in the match because of what AJ Styles was doing. If it wasn't for AJ Styles, I think that match would have been horrible. Yeah,
like to me, AJ Styles did make that match as well. And then we get a pointless backstage segment, or not even a backstage segment, out of arena segment with Eric Young holding the old TNA World title and the television title, and he was all like, I'm going to go find someone to face. And then he sees D'Lo Brown. Someone says, oh, that's D'Lo Brown, and he thinks it's CeeLo Green. And then he pins D'Lo Brown for some reason. It's like, oh, I'm the champion. And then D'Lo's like, get back here, Eric. And then Eric's like, no, run. He's faster than he looks. And then D'Lo's like, I don't think you recognize me. It was like, what was the point of this? Why can't we use Eric Young as your television title, TNA? I hope they do realize this. It's considered a second-tier title now. Your television title is considered a second-tier title. As much as I disagree with that, it is considered a second-tier title in your industry. Why aren't you using it more? Why isn't EY defending that belt on television like it should be against different guys every week to expose more guys on your roster? I mean, I know Eric Young's basically doing jack shit. The only time I've seen Eric Young literally in a match since he won that damn thing was Destination X. But seriously, can't we use the television title for something more productive than this? He's your television champion. And if anyone disagrees with me, that television title or Legends title or freaking global title was held by many other men that are credible. Douglas Williams, AJ Styles, Kevin Nash, Booker T. I can name more, but heck, you have some 4 big guys on that list. Well, maybe you can count Douglas Williams, but you have some top talent up there that you could put up there. Why are we not seeing that? I don't know, but I'm just not agreeing with the television title. Brandon, what are your thoughts about the television title?
I wish they would use it better like they used to. Like you said, I wish they would use it better like back when AJ was holding it, or Douglas Williams too. I don't like with he's not even defending it. He's just making it kind of look like a joke, like it's not even a real title, kind of like the old title he has right now with him that's just carrying around. doesn't even look credible. It kind of reminds me, like the way they're presenting it, just reminds me of Zack Ryder's Internet Championship. Just because the way they're presenting it, it doesn't even look credible at all.
Yeah, it's just dumb. I don't like it. But anyways, we get on to the X Division title match. Brandon, I think your mic's echoing. But anyways, we get on to the X Division title match, and we have Alex Shelley versus Brian Kendrick in a very good old reminiscence to an X Division title style match. And the X Division style, this was a very good match. I liked it. The ending was kind of meh. It was Shelley versus, so Shelley hits his slice spread finisher onto the ring apron, and Kendrick's out of it. Shelley's about to go roll Kendrick in the ring, win the belt, and then Austin Aries comes in, hits the title, and then Shelley's knocked out. And then I like what they did with it. I get what they're doing furthering the story, but if you want to really do a Shelley Aries feud, why didn't you just have Shelley win the belt and have Aries attack him afterwards? I'm fine with it though, what they did. I'm not too nitpicky on it. It's fine. Either way would have worked. I especially like what Brian Kendrick said after the match, how this is not how we're supposed to win the title. We're supposed to win the title like men in the ring. I like that. Brandon, what were your thoughts?
I didn't really care for the ending too much, but yeah, they're setting up for an Austin Aries Shelley feud. But I would rather have seen this match at Hardcore Justice.
Seriously.
Or maybe and then have I don't know what they're gonna do with it, because it's hard to say what they're gonna do because of Brian Kendrick, what he said afterwards. And I know they're gonna have probably Alex Shelley Austin Aries feud, but hopefully Alex Shelley gets another shot, because I would really like to see him as X Division title holder. So with Chris Sabin injured, but I think that Austin Aries and Alex Shelley can have a really good feud, and I like the match too. It's a good match.
Yeah, the thing is, like I said with the ladder match, that could have been on pay-per-view. Why wasn't this match built up for your pay-per-view, TNA? Like, this is why I call it a pay-per-view impact. Most of these matches that I was seeing on the card tonight are matches I could imagine on the pay-per-view. When you guys announced this card a week in advance, I was like, holy crap, this is something I could actually order and be fine with. This is something I would stream and be fine with, but instead you guys didn't build up this X Division title match until later. I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of that. Then we get on to the Knockouts title match. The Knockouts title match didn't even happen. Basically, Mickie James was coming out, and then Winter and Angelina Love came out and attacked her. Velvet Sky came out and came for the save. But then afterwards, we had ODB and Jacqueline, who are not even part of TNA. They don't have a contract, apparently, in the storyline. And they come out, and they start causing shit and havoc. And I was digging this every minute. And then, most important of all, I did have a boner. I'm not going to lie to y'all. We had Tracy Brooks. Oh my god. Tracy. She returns, baby. And we get Tracy Brooks back, and it was just awesome. Tracy Brooks is back, and it was just amazing. And then they were brawling still. And WWE, take notes. This is how you build a Divas division where you actually care for the Divas match. This is where you can actually make it where Divas wrestling is interesting. I know this segment probably went overdue its time, but hell, at least I was entertained by most of it. Brandon, what were your thoughts?
It was okay. It was good because it kind of builds onto a ODB thing with Velvet Sky, and then it's kind of like they're not there. They're off, they don't have a contract with TNA because they lost a couple weeks ago in that handicap match. But I don't know, it was okay. And then we had Tracy return, so that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Now we get on to the main event. The main event was something that I really forgot existed, to be honest, because they didn't really hype it that much for the rest of the show. I mean, you hyped all the other matches, but when it came to the main event, it really wasn't hyped up that much. But we get the tag team match between Angle, Steen, and Bully Ray and Anderson. And in the beginning of the Bully Ray and Anderson, it really showed that Anderson may be defuncting from Immortal, and I'm thinking to myself, what's the point of putting him in Immortal if this is the guy you were chasing after for months and months and months? Why in the heck are you guys deciding now, oh, let's split him and maybe have a blow-off match at Bound for Glory? Because to me, that's what I think TNA is trying to go with here. And I'm not a fan of that, because I really want to see them build this up more if they really want to split Anderson from Immortal, because that seems like what they want to do. The way Bully Ray was treating Anderson. But besides that, the match itself was I'm not gonna lie, it was not that good. I don't want to say shit. It was not that good. It was too short. Angle pretty much did most of the work for his team. Steen got his ass kicked, and then Angle got most of the work. And then at the end of the match, Angle and Steen had their little, handshake, and Angle pulled Steen close, stared him down, setting up for the main event, Hardcore Justice. So, Brandon, what were your thoughts on the main event? Brandon, your thoughts on the main event?
Yeah, sorry, my stuff was messed up. Yeah, I didn't really care for the, main event. Like you said, it wasn't that good. The ending was okay, how they had, Angle get the pin, and like how they worked together, get the, pin, and then, had the handshake, and then pull him closer, kind of made the match for Hardcore Justice look like it's gonna be a lot better, and kind of building up on the storyline. And then I didn't really care for, what's it called? I didn't care for how like they used Bully Ray and like Mr. Anderson in this match. I didn't think they used them good. And then like you said, they might have like an Immortal turn, like where Anderson leaves Immortal, and it doesn't really make sense how they just got him on Immortal and now he's like already having these problems.
Yeah, it just
wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't that good of a.
It doesn't make any sense. And one thing that I kind of missed on was the TNA tag team build-up they did. At least they're building up the tag team. They had Anarchia and Hernandez do their thing, and they had Robert Roode and James Storm do their thing. They basically talked on the mic, had a little skirmish, and said, "We're going to kick your ass as Hardcore Justice." I like that. But overall, this TNA show, for being a show that I called pay-per-view Impact, Impact that could literally have these matches on pay-per-views, and it would be a decent pay-per-view at best, it really didn't deliver that much. It was slightly entertaining. I like what they did with the knockouts. Like I said, I like the opening segment. I like what they did after the main event and the tag team. I don't like what they're doing with the TNA TV title. There's no point to it. This show, to me, though, it could keep your interest. It wasn't too bad. I would have to give it a C+. That's the best this show is getting out for me.
Yeah, I'd probably have to give it about maybe like a 2.5 out of 5 stars for myself.
Yeah,
I don't really care for it.
It just didn't deliver because I get that. I know they're trying to build matches. At least we got matches announced for Hardcore Justice. But come on, TNA, you gotta think. If you're gonna put these matches on TV and you're gonna build these matches up, you gotta actually make them worthwhile to watch. Not matches that I'm just gonna forget the next night. Because that ladder match, there's no way that ladder match should be forgettable. You got three top talent minus Gunner, and you basically don't give us a good match out of that? Come on. And you had the X Division title match, which was good. That's obviously the match of the night. But I'm Chase Oliver 68. Brandon, any final words?
I'm a homicidal. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't checked it out yet. And yeah, thanks for watching the video.
Yeah, go follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my channel, add me on Skype, Chase Oliver 68 if you want to do an Impact review. Pretty much that's about it. So I'm Chase Oliver 68, coming up close to the camera. You all know what that means.